update on the situation. How can I do this? Crap. Okay, that's just gonna sit right there. So here's the situation. I don't know where the other stream ended, but this is ridiculous. Okay, I don't know where the other stream ended, or if you could even hear what I'm saying, but just as I was leaving that bay, I saw someone with a telltale sign of their trolling motor down, doing the drive of shame back into the marina. We've all been there. So we stopped, and we are now pulling them in with a little adventure. So we're just gonna slowly putt through here. I have no idea if this is even live or if you can hear me. Our little test experiment of going live, but I have to guess that this guy is going to hear about this for a very long time. It's 50 something degrees. I think it's 54 degrees out. It is 59 degrees out. They got stuck on one of the coldest days we've had this whole year. I'm laughing because I know exactly what that would be like. Anyways, we're going back to the same place, so it's not a big deal. We'll just head back into the marina and call it a day because we did the test that we wanted to do anyway. It is cold though. Not as cold as most of the country right now, but for me it's cold. I probably should have put on more than a hoodie. I am in shorts. Anybody? I see on the however, I have absolutely no idea what that means because today is the first time I've ever streamed live on YouTube. So if that means that somebody's watching, put something in the chat. I'm looking at my phone here. I'll give you what's happening. I was testing Starlink to see how the streaming on YouTube would go, and I was just out screwing around, really just seeing if it worked or not. And as I got out into the bay, headed out to the Gulf, these guys that I'm pulling in were broken down. So we just tied them off and we're pulling them in, and it's just an adventure. So if you're watching, just say hi in the chat, because now it's down to one person. So I think that would be me watching myself, which is not cool, but whatever. So, not even hear anything. I got this microphone on, but I'm not even certain that I have it connected correctly. So you might not even hear a word that I'm saying. Do me a favor though. It says there's 3 people watching again. If you would say hi in the chat, just so that I know that you can hear me. We got probably a 20-minute boat ride at this pace. We can't get up on plane. This is about our top speed. I cut it a little close. Okay. Shallow water. If you didn't know, around here the water's shallow. And I was basically churning up the bottom here because I cut it too close. We should be out of it in a second. I think we're still live. We are towing these guys in, if you could hear me. Going through the really shallow water now. Up to the front of the boat, just to get some weight up here. Looks like there's a storm off in the distance. Either that or some super ominous clouds. Hopefully we can get in before that rolls in, whatever the heck that is. I'm not going to flip the camera around again because every time I do, I imagine it makes everybody busy. The three people that are here. Turn up here, you should be able to see it behind us. If you're just joining and you have no idea what the heck's going on and you can actually hear me, an experiment to see if the Starlink would work with the GoPro to go live on YouTube and stream fishing trips. And I was just out kind of screwing around. Just as I pulled out of the bay, there was somebody that they had their trolling motor down and they were coming in on their trolling motor. So I stopped and we're pulling them back into the marina now. So we turned a little experiment into an adventure. It does look like that's a storm rolling in. I don't think it's supposed to rain today at all. Yeah, it says 0% chance of rain, but that's obviously a storm that's rolling in. These guys would have been soaked. We actually may get soaked on our way in. They would have been stuck out in that. The wind's starting to pick up. watching and you could hear me, this is an experiment, say something in the chat, just so I can see what a chat looks like. I came out here today just to do an experiment with the Starlink and the GoPro to see how live streaming would work. To see if maybe we could live stream our fishing charters. It looks like it's going to work. However, just as I started, I ran into these guys, and they were broken down out in the bay, headed out to the Gulf. So I'm pulling them in so that they can figure out what's going on with their boat. We've all been there. Actually, this exact boat, I got stuck out I was in December, the end of December I was out, and it turned out to be an ignition relay. We spent 4 days chasing 3 different mechanics, 4 days to try to figure out what the heck was going on with it. And finally, one mechanic happened to bump a relay and the engine started. And we realized that after all of that work, we changed out batteries, we changed out battery cables, we changed out the battery switch, we changed out everything, and nothing worked. And then we tightened down that relay, and no problems. The only thing that was going on was the connection for the relay was bent a little bit, so it wasn't making a good connection. And we literally just bent it back the way that it was supposed to be. It made a good connection, and the thing's been running like a champ. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes you get a little bit of water in your fuel. The water separator causes the engine to shut down, so you don't fill your engine with water. All sorts of things could happen, who knows. We just help each other out, because if you're out here enough, at some point you're gonna get stuck out. So anyways, I see that somebody's watching. I have no idea who it is, or how long they've been watching, or if they're even paying attention. But if you're there, throw something in the chat just so that I can see what it looks like for someone to chat. I'm learning how to do this. It's going to be pretty cool down the road to go back and watch. I think this is the 3rd or 4th stream today as I was experimenting. I'm going to leave them on the channel just so that we could all go back and look down the road that this is the very first live stream that we've done, and how far it comes. Hopefully I can get my crap together and get the camera angles right, get some stability so it's not shaking around, and we can live stream some fishing trips so you guys can see what it's like on a nice beautiful day down here on Marco, when we are out fishing with our charter guests. Hopefully you can hear me. Back up to another person watching. I don't know if you could hear me, but couple. We're almost back in. Brother's in Colorado. He's working right now, but I figured it was worth a shot to see if he wanted to jump on and see if he can hear me. Today's his birthday, actually. Day. I literally just came down to the marina. It's cold, so we didn't have any charters booked today. So I came down here. I was gonna do some silly little repairs, like clean up some grounds on a bus bar and replace a couple light wall pumps that weren't working the way that they should. We rely on those to keep our bait alive. Stop working, it's no good for anybody. So on days like this where it's cold and we don't have any trips, it lets me do little projects. So once I got those projects done, I thought that I would run out and do this experiment with the YouTube live stream and check out the Starlink to see how it was going to hold up. And we ended up with a little adventure. Giving me way too much credit, like I know what the heck I'm doing. So I can't hear you.
I got plenty of juice in my shoulder motor if you want. Well, you don't gotta try to drag me around the corner.
Okay.
But either way, it don't matter.
I think we can get in here.
I can still steer a little.
We got him in. Hopefully it's just fuel and you're good to go. Oh no, we're good. We all get stuck. Appreciate that though. Yeah, you're welcome. You need to ride over to your truck?
No.
What's that?
If I need to.
All right. They were stuck out in Gullivan.
Huh?
They were in Gullivan. Throwing water in there. I think he's just out of gas, but I'm not sure. Starlink works though. Okay, well, I have no idea if this is still working, but I call that a success. We got the Wi-Fi hooked up on the Starlink, we got the GoPro hooked up to the Starlink. It looks like it's streaming live. They just pulled the boat from the water and put it on a cleaning rack. I just pulled the plug on the live well, so the live well is working. Now, I just need to rinse down the boat and put this all away. So I'm gonna end this, and then I'm gonna go back later to